Everybody, Brian Good here at the latest on Storm Talk on this Tuesday alongside Logan Voss, who is our weather intern. Why are you laughing at me, Logan? This is like my fifth time, it seems like, taping this blog today. I'm having a tough time. I'm not adjusting to sleep well. I don't know how Christy does it. I really don't. But my lack of sleep is going to make for a very interesting midday show, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I may say some weird
I'm
things.
going to stay around for that.
I'm sure you are. All right, thanks, Logan. Hey, let's talk about the storm threat here this afternoon. We do have a slight risk, all in yellow here. It includes all of our counties here in Wave Country for this afternoon. Obviously, we'll go into more detail in a second. Tomorrow, marginal risk in the darker shade there of green. Kind of iffy. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see this upgrade to a slight risk. And if we did see it, I think it's going to be probably in this fashion. May just miss Louisville for slight risk tomorrow, but it'll be close. And I think some of our counties, though, especially the south, will be in it. So it is worth watching for tomorrow. And Thursday, though, we start to see more of a suppression here. Best moisture, best boundary for lifting here for the atmosphere looks to be mainly pushed into Tennessee Valley, but that looks only to be temporary. I think it will come back into play for the holiday weekend, but hopefully not as aggressive as we're seeing now. All right, in the short term, it's going to be another warm, humid day. We're heating up fast with some hazy sunshine. 75 here in Louisville, 72 at Fort Knox. You can see that haze outside. It's just, high thin cirrus clouds overall. Not many cumulus clouds yet have begun to bubble up. We'll likely see that happen shortly, but this is a boundary here, front, that is going to be dropping in late tonight, and ahead of that is where it's going to really trigger the showers and storms just in time for the afternoon commute and into this evening. I do think we'll see 2 rounds of thunderstorm potentials here for today. One will be pop-up thunderstorms in this area in central Kentucky, and then the next round will be with the actual boundary itself that will form thunderstorms to our north that will then race into Kentucky by late afternoon into sunset, then fade away. So there's 2 ways you can get wet today, and that's the 2. And you may miss the first round, but get the second one, and you very may get both rounds of thunderstorms. If you do, you can get some impressive rain totals out of the system. And there is a chance, obviously, for severe weather here that we have to keep an eye on. But that's the way it's setting up here for this afternoon to the evening time frame. And by the way, since we're on the visible satellite, let's take a look at a wider view here. We switched to a different source. And if you look carefully, you can see this haze that is showing up, a little bit of a light gray, all the way through Indiana, down in Tennessee, Missouri, and then back to the north. That is the smoke from the forest fires in Alaska and Canada that has filtered into the Ohio Valley this morning and allowed for a very nice, creepy-looking blood moon, we call that, a nice red look to it. So some of you saw pictures of that this morning. Thank you for taking those, by the way. We appreciate that. So a little bit of smoke in the air and haze, so it makes for kind of a weird-looking day outside. But severe weather is going to be our biggest concern. Let's start off with our chance for wind shear parameters. 40 is usually what I like to look at when it comes to chance for severe. And again, everything so far in our area is, 25 to a couple of pockets of 35 knots in shear. Nothing off the charts by any stretch, but it is enough that a damaging wind gust can happen if you get enough instability. And right now we're thinking we'll get enough that there is going to be at least an isolated wind damage threat. Not a major deal. Got to stress that. Dew points. Hard to see where Louisville is, but Louisville's right here on the map. A lot of decent moisture. Again, this is not overly deep moisture profile here in the Ohio Valley, but there's enough moisture around for these heavy downpours and to feed the thunderstorm potential for some strong gusty winds as well. We're seeing that, and very intense lightning, by the way. Helicity is about 50 to 100 and mainly focused for Indiana ahead of the front itself. So if there's any type of spinning action or rotating storms, it'll be with that main band that'll drop down toward late afternoon this evening. This is not a huge trail threat at all. In fact, the trail threat is lower today than yesterday. But anytime you have these kind of setups here where thunderstorms are going to be colliding with each other, when they initially smack together, there could be a brief rotation that could take place that could trigger perhaps a tornado warning, but it doesn't mean a tornado will likely happen. But again, that's going to be a very isolated scenario. This is mainly just a damaging wind threat, and on top of that, freezing levels are pretty low in the Ohio Valley at the moment here. Some chilly air above our heads, so that combined with the deep moisture and the strong heating today and ahead of the front, there could be some decent hailstones, about nickel size, maybe quarter size hail that could come out of some of these thunderstorms today. So the hail threat and damage wind more of an issue than anything else for today. A couple of the models to show you here. Here's the first off, the rapid refresh model, the triple R, the HER model. It shows the initial pop-up storms developing in the next couple of hours around the area. And then as we into the afternoon, we get into more of the frontal setup. So the pop-ups have a limited lifespan. They're going to develop and they'll rain themselves out and kind of cool the atmosphere down in this area of Kentucky to where they begin to fade off. That's when this front begins to really take over after 2 or 3 this afternoon. That activity then will begin to push into northern Kentucky. But it's going to have a limited time getting into Kentucky, mainly because the sun's going to be going down at this point, but also the earlier pop-ups may stabilize this enough to allow this to really weaken as it pushes in. So right now, I think really the main severe threat is going to be limited to this area for damage and winds and maybe some large hail for this afternoon. Now, yeah, these initial pop-ups the next couple of hours could produce maybe a warning or two, but I really think the main band is going to be 64 and north for this afternoon, early evening. They'll fade out of here, though, as we get into the overnight period. Here is the RPM model. It shows some pop-ups again this afternoon. Then the organized band pushes in toward this evening, fades away, so pushes into Kentucky. Then we get some fog to develop. Then we get into the day on Wednesday, and that is where we will have a decent pocket of wind energy that'll move in. And I don't know how warm we're really going to get here. The models are saying about 83 to 85. I wouldn't rule it out. It is possible. I do think we're going to have quite a bit of a cirrus cloud deck that's going to stream in, because this bad boy here is going to be active while you're sleeping tonight with thunderstorms. So it's very likely going to send over some clouds over us early tomorrow morning. So that's going to limit our heating quite a bit. And it will likely limit our instability as well. But I think there'll be enough around for some lightning and thunder. But overall, I think it's going to be more just heavy rain that's going to move through here that may very well last all the way through Wednesday night into Thursday, periods of rain. But by Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, we may finally see somewhat of a break try to push in here to ease off our rain chances on Friday. Fingers crossed that will happen. Speaking of cool-offs, yeah, by the way, there is going to be a storm chance for the holiday weekend, 4th of July. I know a lot of you are asking questions about it. It's a storm chance because that front does come back again for the weekend. I'll go into more detail once we get a little closer. I don't want to go too far ahead in details on the storm chances. I did want to at least mention, though, looking ahead toward mid-July, a lot of good agreement here on the models that another trough may develop in the Ohio Valley. All the heat stays to our west. And if this were to happen, we may very well be talking about highs in the 70s potentially with sunshine and maybe near record lows. It's a possibility, not ruling it out. We saw this last summer, and it looks like it's trying to do it again. We'll see if it does happen. All right, lots of track this afternoon with showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye on the trend. Stay tuned for updates, of course, throughout the day. And Christy Dutton and Andy will join you this evening. Logan, say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.